Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Heretic Mansion, the Shin Megami Tensei Podcast. I'm John, your host, and who am I here with?
Some brown dude who shits in the streets of the Megami Tensei fan base. Actually, no,
Okay.
it's
Neos.
Neos.
I'm Christian, your local gay boy, and I'm on here because this podcast needs more diversity.
It's all right, yeah. So we're back at it again with another episode. Yay, guys!
Yay.
So when was our last episode?
It's about a month ago.
Okay, well there you go. At least we're somewhat consistent. But anyways, if you haven't tuned into the last one, you may have noticed some changes that we've shortened our time span, basically the amount of time we actually spent on discussions, and we pretty much increased the pace so it's easy to digest. Plus we've added timestamps so you can easily go to where you want to hear a certain topic or something. Just write in the comment sections. So hopefully that stuff has been okay for you guys. Just let us know in the comment sections here if you really enjoyed that format, and we'll continue to do it with this one as well. So yeah, anything you want to talk about, John? Anything about your life, your personal life, or maybe the future of this podcast for a little bit?
Oh, yeah. Before we get on to our main topics, I would like to talk about the well, as Anthony just said, the future of this podcast and what our schedule in the future is going to be. I mean, so far this podcast, it's been like our schedule has been pretty uncertain. Like we wanted to make it a weekly thing, but just, life tends to get in the way, and I was really busy. Ever since I started, I've been working really stressful jobs, and then I got a girlfriend and stuff like that. But I mean, next month, or at the end of next month, I'm going to be going into the U.S. Army.
And what does this mean for the Heretic Mansion podcast?
Well, it means while I'm in basic training, I won't be able to podcast, but other people will. So hopefully we'll still be getting episodes while I'm not here.
Hey guys, you know what that means.
Yeah.
It's time for me to talk about cricket matches and Bollywood movies on this podcast. Actually, no, I'm not going to put you through that suffering, guys. Come on.
Can we not, please?
But anyways, while John is dealing with his future, I'll be hosting the podcast, and for sure I'll try to imitate his monotone voice, even though mine's not really that monotone. But I'll try my best, and hopefully
That's debatable.
Hopefully you guys will enjoy my voice for the time that John's gone. Anyways, Christian, do you have anything to add?
Well, I'm the keep being gay as usual, and I'll be on sometimes, depending on my circumstances, mentally and out externally, I guess, like life stuff. I have a life too, surprisingly.
Yeah, everybody has a life, Sometimes, we can't really produce content, and that is an issue, and just trying to figure out where we are, and then pretty much go out and do things, basically.
We're all pretty much, all three of us are in sort of we are still deciding our long-term futures. I'm significantly younger than you guys, but I still have stuff to decide next year, especially next year, because I'll be a senior next year.
Yeah. I mean, it only took me 3 years, but it's I'm 21 years old, and I don't want to be working minimum wage jobs where I make sandwiches for fat old women all day. So
well, that's me right now.
And I certainly don't want to be. And I certainly don't want to be at a theater for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I don't want to be working at McDonald's for the rest of my life. So also, I'll probably be joining the Air Force to pay for college.
Ooh, nice.
But that's about it. So wait, are you going to the army, or like the army specifically, or like what branch?
Yeah, I'm going into the army.
Why the army?
Well, the thing about the army is that you can actually reserve your job before you even enlist. With the Air Force, it's like you like pitch them the top 10 jobs you want, and then when you get to basic training, they'll talk to you about what job you want to do. But I don't want to sign a 5-year contract for a job I might enjoy. I want to make sure it's something I want to do.
For me, essentially, I kind of have this plan. It more so has to do with my personal and social life, but I've also included my hobbies within it, and plus my profession that I'm going for. So whether or not I might need to choose between the one or the other, but either way, both are happening. I'm trying to make both happen at the same time, where I can have time for myself and where I can work at a job that I truly enjoy or get into that field, the field of IT. So I have some plans. I just need to pretty much get the gears moving with IT per se. But yeah, that's enough about us. We need to get on with the podcast, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, first we're going to talk about the Persona dancing games, and we're going to start off with the tweet that we received a couple days ago. Actually, was it a couple days ago or was it yesterday? No, it was yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
So, Atlus of Europe, or the Europe division of Atlus, which is probably consisted of maybe a couple of people.
Probably have the budget of maybe like 5 sets of the Pop-Tart.
Yeah, but anyways, the PR manager, Sarah Wellock, I think is her name, announced recently that that the 2 hidden titles from Atlus's lineup at E3 were Persona 3, Dancing Moonlight, and Persona 5, Dancing Starlight. This was no surprise. People have speculated that these 2 elusive games were indeed the dancing games that were released back in Japan. And honestly, I'm not really hyped. See, here's the thing. Rhythm games weren't my thing, and they will probably never be unless I actually pick up the games. As of right now, I'm not feeling them. I'm not touching them. There's a lot of reasons for it. It's not because of my tastes towards it. It's more so Atlus's recent directions towards the dancing games. I was feeling optimistic, that is, until when it came out. And yeah, E3, also at Atlus's lineup for E3, you're going to have Catherine Full Body. So that's going to be a thing. We're probably going to see some actual footage of the game as well.
It's a trap.
Okay, we had this debate how many episodes ago?
Let's not talk about that today.
Let's not talk about whether or not the new girl is a trap or not. But anyways, what I do know is that Atlus this year is going to be depressing, because if you're basically hyped for the dancing games, if you're a Persona fan, a diehard Persona fan, then these are the games you should really tune in. Otherwise, you have a remake of Catherine, which is probably something I might tune in for a bit, but other than that,
I'm definitely looking forward to.
Yeah, other than that, there's nothing really much for Atlus this year around. Like, you could probably sleep the next day, or actually sleep through the whole Atlus reveal and pretty much know everything the next day.
Yeah. And I'm not expecting Atlus to announce anything new either.
No, I'm not
unless
expecting.
Unless they have like something like SMT5 or something.
I'm not expecting SMT5.
I'm not expecting that. But okay, if Atlus were to reveal something new, like, just what would you want that to be if Atlus were to reveal something?
Well, I would like to
Yeah, go ahead.
I would like for them to, like, give a lot more detail on SMT5. Like, tell us about, like, the general premise and stuff. But, like, if we do get anything on SMT5, realistically, it'll probably be a slightly less cryptic trailer.
Yeah. I mean, my one wish is Devil Survivor 3, but that's never going to happen.
Nah, fam, we're on sequel.
If I were, and this is totally impossible, like, here's the thing. Atlus nowadays, the way I'm seeing how they do things, it's Atlus USA, by the way. Atlus USA, I don't really have any faith in them. Not anymore, because of what's been going on. But to answer the question, what I would love to see is probably some reveals of maybe some future SMT anniversary projects. Like the year of SMT is still going, so I say, why not make more projects, make more ports? I don't give a fuck. Are you gonna bring SMT 1 and 2 to the 3DS? Like, bring all the SMT stuff over here to the West. We need this stuff.
Yeah, a remake of SMT 1 and 2 in the style of Strange Journey Redux.
It doesn't matter what style. Like, if you give us a straight up port with an English patch, I'd be fine.
As long as, like, it's not as glitched as the first English patch for SMT1 was, then I'm good.
Like, Westerners need a way of legally playing these SMT games, because the way we've been playing it is not really legal, and I'd say it opens up a lot of options for new players who want to play some of the old games.
Yeah, I mean, so far the only way you can play the original SMT, like, without pirating or emulating it, is if you play the iOS version, which hasn't been updated to work with iOS 10 or later, or iOS 11.
11.
Yeah, so I have a first generation iPad just laying around that has SMT1 on it. So I've played a bit of that, but I mean, most people right now that don't want to emulate, they don't really have any way to play SMT1.
Yeah. So I guess we deviated from the topic a lot, but
yeah,
essentially what this topic is about is the dancing games, and why I feel like not enough effort has been put into it. And Japanese... we're not the only people that think this too. I mean, the games didn't sell that well in Japan. Yeah, the Japanese sales, the first week sales. Persona 4 Dancing All Night debuted with... Hold on, let me check here. Dancing All Night debuted with 95k copies on its first week. Persona 3 Dancing Moon Night and Persona 5 Dancing Star Night debuted on its first week with 65k units.
For each individual game or both?
Both.
The fuck?
65k. That, and Strange Journey Redux, for comparison, for an SMT title in Japan, did about 62k.
Yeah.
That's justified because that's a sequel. These are brand new spanking games.
Wait, how much did SJR sell?
About 62. I can't remember the price on top of my head, but it's about shy of whatever the dancing games were. And keep in mind, that's a sequel and an SMT game.
And it's one game.
Sorry, not a sequel. A re-release.
Remaster.
Re-release, sorry.
Yeah,
it's a logic between, sequels tend to do worse than its predecessor. That's why I thought of it. But just to get back on the track.
It's one game, and it almost outsold both games combined.
Yeah, almost. It's either 61 or 62, but either way, it's in the 60K zone. This is bad. You know why I think it's bad? It's because of the DLC practices behind it. Charging $100 worth of DLC, I don't know for each game or for both games combined, is
Either way, it's a lot.
it's a massive ass pull. Atlus Japan dropped the ball with this.
Yeah.
Now, you may argue the fact that, you don't need the DLC to play the games. And I'm like, well, yeah, you're right.
But that doesn't change the fact that it's a shitty practice.
Yes, and the fact that if you wanted to get both games for the one price, it's about 18k yen, right? And it comes with some DLC, some promotional stuff with it, but not a lot. Like, you're not getting a bang for your buck there, in my opinion. Because if I were to buy this game, this would cost maybe around 230 Canadian. That's what probably shipping and everything from Japan. And I'm not even getting most of the DLC. Like, I'm not even getting the DLC that they advertised. That's like maybe a small quarter piece of it. But other than that, I'm not getting any benefit from buying the double pack other than the soundtrack. And the soundtrack, don't get me started with the soundtrack. The soundtrack is mediocre as hell. Like, Sorry, go ahead.
Are there, like, is it just, like, straight up rips from the game's tracks and, like, there are, like, hardly any remixes?
Mostly Persona's 5 side has little to no remixes. Most of the tracks,
the remixes aren't very good.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
The remixes aren't very good in my opinion either. Heck, I'd even say that Kozuka's remixes, the composer for SMT4s, are the only ones worth listening in both sides. I mean, that's just
listen so I can have an opinion on it, so
I mean, if you want to go check, you can check the announcements in the Joker server. But that's besides the point. The point is that Atlus Japan is fucked up in terms of sales. Now, they're bringing over these games to the West. Chances are, if they do their marketing correctly, they can make up for the loss that they made in Japan with their North American audience. However, if they force the same shitty DLC practice, which I'm pretty sure they're gonna do, because remember that ultimate bullshit pack that they pulled on with the thing for P5?
Persona 5, yeah.
They're probably gonna do something like that. I wouldn't hold them accountable for it, but they will do it. They will do it because.
Yeah, and I mean, and if they charge their Atlus tax for these games, I swear to record scratch. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what to think if they charge $50 for each of these games instead of 40, or at least for the Vita versions. Even for the PS4 version, I don't see how this is worth $60. I don't think they should charge any more than 40.
What are the game's prices in Japan?
18k yen, something like that price. I forget.
Yeah.
Which is about one something USD. Let me check.
But I mean, that's Japan. Like, the way games are priced in Japan is a lot different from the way they're priced here.
Yeah. So it's about 168-ish US dollars. I could be wrong. But yeah.
Oh, right, Japanese game. Yeah, I heard Japanese games were pretty expensive, so they'll get lowered here. They're
Well, then again, the whole double pack thing is bullshit. There's no real benefit to getting them. The DLC is overpriced as shit. Right? Oh my god. There's one thing I never got. Hey guys, what year is it again?
2018.
And what is it the anniversary of?
SMT.
Why are we getting Persona games?
We got Strange Journey Redux.
Didn't even get a dub.
Great job.
So there you guys
Anniversary.
have it, folks.
I mean, Persona 5 was celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Persona series, but that was 2 years ago.
So, like...
Even then, I think that was kind of lackluster.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I feel like... I'm gonna go off on a little tangent here, because I just want to vent this. Vishnu in P5 is just his regular Kaneko Vishnu. I would have honestly, since it's the franchise's 20th fucking anniversary, to have like P1 Vishnu in there as you know, just like a thing you can get from completing Igor's Confidant, which is automatic. But
have P1 Satan too.
I feel like P1 Satan isn't as iconic as P1 Vishnu.
Well, true, but I mean, they could have had it as like a special fusion or something. But like, the best thing we got were the Persona 1 costumes, but those were DLC.
They were
a long prayer.
They were apparently priced in Japan, so they sold that piece of DLC in Japan. However, actually no, it was free for a bit. Sorry, I think it was completely free because they screwed up somewhere with the DLC schedule in Japan, so that's why they said, oh yeah, Persona 1 DLC is free. I think over here they're charging it. Singapore store has it free. Yeah, so it's a little fucked up around other regions, but I'm pretty sure, and you know, if you got a Japanese copy, you can download it for free. The costume. Anyways, back on topic. Back on topic. So for the dancing games, I'd say good luck, Atlus USA. I know you're gonna make the same mistakes as Atlus JP. You market this correctly, you're gonna have a lot of stupid people buying a piss poor game, in my opinion.
And the DLC.
They're
gonna be the whales, as we like to call them.
Right. And yeah, good luck with your business practices from here on out. Because I'm not going to be supporting them. And I sure as hell I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be supporting you in the long time run if you keep making these same mistakes.
I'm buying these games used.
Go ahead,
I'm
dude.
not going to pay $20 for them.
Sorry, I had to leave. My internet crapped out for a bit. Sorry.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Yeah. So our next topic is. Actually.
Endings.
No, not yet.
No.
That's our core topic. We forgot to talk about another shitty DLC practice, and I'm pretty sure we've already mentioned this in our previous podcasts. I'm not too sure, but Blazblue cross tag battle. You guys want to guess? You guys want to guess a number?
What?
You want to guess a number of how many units it sold on its first week?
30,000.
Nope. 11K.
Oh my god.
On its first week. That is Nintendo Switch. I mean, according to this Persona Central article, that seems to be the case. 11K, guys. Wow, congratulations.
Is that just for the Nintendo Switch? What about the PS4?
No, that's it combined. If I'm reading. Sorry, no. I'm actually no. It's whatever. Sorry, 11K for the PS4, and 4K for the Nintendo Switch. So that's a total of 16K copies sold on its first week.
That is sad.
Sorry, actually. Debut on it, is it its first day? or last week. No. Okay, yeah, it's the week. Sorry.
I mean, ArcSys had this coming because of the DLC they were advertising.
I know. We were just talking about how shitty the fucking dancing game DLCs were. This suffered from the same bullshit.
I mean, Arc System Works is pretty bullshit to begin with, far before Atlus ever did it.
Alright. And for comparison...
They've always been greedy bitches.
And for comparison, Blazblue Central Fiction, released 2 years ago, sold 44k on its first week. Chrono Phantasma, released 3 years before that, had 85k. Persona 4 Arena Ultimax on its first week, 89k. And Persona 4 Arena, both for 360 and PS3, 138k. Cross Tag Battle did 15k. Sorry, not 15k, 16k.
That's just sad. But I don't feel bad for them.
I don't feel bad. Like I said, it's another shovelware game that I'm probably not gonna buy on. Like, I'm gonna wait for the bargain bin drops. So as soon as I see that either the Switch or the PS4 one, I'm just picking it up, paying whatever, $10, $15, whatever it costs. That is ridiculous. They are smoothing it off over here. They're doing you, quote unquote, a favor that they're giving you the game for 40 USD when 20 USD is worth for the DLC, I think, right?
Yeah,
like
so it's basically a full price game, except this game is an asset flip of other Arc System Works games.
Yep.
And get this, it's got a story.
I don't know what you could do. I don't know what you can do with that. Like, honestly, I really don't know.
I mean, this is Arc System Works we're talking about. The same Arc System Works that wrote Persona 4 Arena and Arena Ultimax. So, I mean, the stories for those games were not very good.
I'm just honestly surprised. Year of Shin Megami Tensei, folks. Here you have
Shin Megami Tensei 25th anniversary.
It's not 25th. Is it the 30th or 25th?
It's the 25th anniversary of Shin Megami Tensei.
I'm a dumbass.
30th.
Now I'm forgetting it. Like, you see, here's the thing. This stupid bullshit I'm reading here is just fucking make me go crazy right now. Jeez. Okay. You know what? I had enough of Cross Tag Battle. Guys, so what I've been hearing in my circle, that it's a fun game, but then again, it's not something that you'd want to play seriously. If you're into FGC, the fighting game fan base, from what I've been hearing from my friends who play fighting games seriously, is that this game isn't really
trash
contender, basically. It's a button masher. So there you go. I mean, when I tried out the demo, like, even me just like literally mashing buttons, like, that's it. Like, that's all it takes to play this game. If you're going in for the story, I'm like, good luck. You're not getting anything good. You're at best, you're probably getting a DeviantArt or Tumblr type-ish fucking fan fiction.
That's what Ultimax was. It was basically a fanfic.
Yeah.
So, y'all have fun. You want your Persona? Here's your Persona. I guess
Zeodine will never die.
I guess that's pretty much it for Cross Tag Battle in terms of shitty things. Let's see here. There's another article I want to bring up. And it has to do with the next Persona game. Persona 6, the director Katsura Hashino has stated that... Sorry, not Hashino, Sojima, the character designer for Persona 5, has stated that they don't know what the colors for the next games are. They're speculating that it might be either blue, yellow, and red, or silver and pearl. They mentioned this in the Persona Central article, but they don't know what they're rolling with. So at the moment, they're probably just in the works of experimenting. So in a sense, they want to get it.
It's basically
out
drawing
of the
board
way.
and spitballing ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they
But
want
at
to get
least
it out
at
of
least
the
we
way.
know they're working on it.
Yeah, they're working on it. Well, they're starting to work on it. Don't expect
And
a
they
release
have,
date.
and at least they do have an engine for P6.
Yeah.
So like it shouldn't take what the entire length of the Cold War to finish it.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, here's the thing about that. Like, Persona 5 was originally being developed for the PS3, and it looks pretty much identical on both the PS4 and PS3. So I don't know if they want to, like, make a new engine specifically for the PS4, because it wouldn't really make a lot of sense to release a PS3 game in, like, the year 2020 or whenever it comes out.
Unity, baby.
I mean,
Unity.
I guess this is up to... I guess this is up to the Team Persona, but I mean, it does seem like, it does seem kind of like weird that they would reuse the P5 engine, which runs on PS3 hardware.
I mean, like, yeah, graphically, P5 is a PS3 game.
Yeah,
but honestly,
it still looks good.
Yeah. Like, for me personally, I wouldn't care, because, like, what really sold me wasn't, like, the fucking super detailed models. No, it was the aesthetics and the art direction. Like, that's all you really need to have a good-looking game.
Yeah.
Just make it look good with the art. But yeah, I see what you're doing.
I mean, I'm not saying P6 is going to look bad if they do this, but I mean, it just makes me think, how much better would it look if this was actually designed specifically for the PS4? Or maybe it'll be on the PS5, since Sony recently announced that the PS4 is close to the end of its lifespan.
Anyways,
But
yeah.
that's a topic for another day.
I don't know. This shit, I just don't want to see it end up like Persona 5, in a sense, where we're waiting, like, I wouldn't say almost a decade. It was what, 4 years? 4 years we waited for the game to come out.
Well, Persona 4 came out in 2008. It was supposed to come out in 2014. The Japanese got it in 2016, and we got it in 2017. So that's about, like, from the time we got Persona 4 to the time Persona 5 came out, that's about 8.5 years.
Well, they announced it after Persona 4. But we didn't really see anything.
They said that they were working. They said that they started working on it as soon as they were done with Catherine. But I mean, we didn't get anything until 2013 when we got that red screen. But we didn't actually get, like, a trailer until 2015.
Oh yeah, we've been waiting a long time for that. Then.
Or was it 2014? It
I
was
don't
either
know. I can't even
2014.
remember. Anyways, it's out.
It was
a
a
piece of
long-ass time
trash.
ago.
It's out. That story is a piece of trash. It was scrapped all, like, during development. They rushed it. You guys got it. People bought it. People ate it up. That's it. We're good. I mean, you already know my opinion on P5, so I'm not gonna explain it again. So yeah, that's some news on Persona 6. Let's talk about.
Stop being Canadian.
Let's talk about no SMT at E3. So I already mentioned this earlier, that there's no presence of SMT. It's not going to be at E3, but maybe at TGS. TGS, we might see something this year. We might see maybe a new trailer. I'm not calling for too much, but what I've heard from the last interview with Kazuyuki Yamai, that he said that they have ended the whole scrap production, like, you know, the whole throwing paper at the wall type of things and seeing if it will stick. Face. God, I don't know why I had to explain that whole thing. I could have just like said something better. But anyways, yeah, so they're past that point. They're now into development. They have said that it's easier to develop on the Unity engine, that it's really easy to just develop in real time and pretty much see what's on the Switch screen while they're doing it. So I think I said this before in previous podcasts. But yeah, that's a thing. We're going to see something at TGS for sure. If we don't see something, I wouldn't be surprised. But at the same time, it's something that you should be somewhat optimistic for. We might see some battles. I don't know. But in a sense,
hopefully we'll get to see some more new models.
Yeah. That's another thing too. But yeah, no SMT. I guess we can move on to our final topic, which is the Strange Journey Redux new ending. So guys, we are entering spoiler territory for these new endings. If you do not want to be spoiled,
get the fuck out before you get salty.
Please skip towards, or actually please skip the rest of this, because we're pretty much going to end off anyways after this. But yeah,
don't say we didn't warn you.
Don't listen up to this point. You've been warned. Fuck. I am so bad at talking. Sorry guys. I'm trying to improve on it. Anyways, Strange Journey Redux endings. So let's talk about the new neutral ending, because most of us, or well, I know you have done it, John. I've done it. So yeah, let's talk about that one first. What do you think about the new neutral ending? Well, but first we should really describe what it is. So if you want to take it
before we talk about the new endings, let's briefly go over the old endings for Strange Journey.
Okay.
So in the original Strange Journey, the neutral ending was basically where you defeat Memelef, and then you use the cosmic eggs. You combine the cosmic eggs with the nuclear warhead to destroy the Schwarzwelt, and you do that as you're leaving.
Yep. You destroy Alex and everything. Sorry, not Alex. You destroy Arthur and everything.
Yeah, Arthur sacrifices himself to do it.
Yeah.
And I thought that scene where he sacrificed himself, where they were trying to make me sad, I thought that was a bit forced, but, you know, whatever. So now we have the law ending, where it's similar. Well, it's not similar to the neutral ending. You defeat Memelef, but instead of destroying the Schwarzwelt, you kind of like change the Schwarzwelt and use it to, like, you turn it into like the Law Schwarzwelt, as you can call it, and basically it brainwashes everybody the same way Zellen's song did when she used her song on Jack's squad, and everyone just stands on top of buildings and sings. So that's Law. And then you have Chaos, where
Schwarzwelt, isn't it basically like everything kind of went according to plan, according to Memelef, where basically the Schwarzwelt just engulfed the entire Earth?
Yeah,
basically.
And like, isn't like the game over screen is basically the Chaos ending?
Yeah.
Basically. So
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
when you die during Chaos, you still get the game over screen. So I don't know, that seems kind of pointless to me, but
And
you know,
lazy.
whatever.
But that's besides the point. So, yeah, the old endings were solid for the most part. They got their point across. They stayed true to what they were. Now, for the new endings and how to access them is basically you complete the Womb of Grief. All right, you complete the Womb of Grief after you've beaten Maria. She's the last guardian that is holding the fruit, and after that, you proceed with the main story. You go up to wherever your alignment, like your alignment ending is, and then Alex shows up. You answer a series of questions. So she hits you up and she tells you, "Hey, I'm from the future. This is what your future is going to bring us. I need you to stop and reconsider your actions so we can save the future that you're about to make." So essentially, what Alex does is that she negotiates with you and the representative of your route, whether it be Law or Chaos, Zelanin or Jimenez, and she says, hey, I have a better way of doing this. Please listen to my words. And that's how the new endings are accessed. Now, if you disagree with her, you pretty much proceed with the original endings, right? So, yeah, so you fight her, and basically her two demons are Amon and Shaitan. And Shaitan is from Devil Summoner, original Devil Summoner on Saturn and PSP. I really thought it was a weird demon edition, but Strange Journey Redux has brought back a lot of classic demons from the original Devil Summoner.
Amon.
Yeah, it brought back Thanatos from Devil Summoner and Hypnos.
Yep. So there you go, guys.
It also brought Maria, who's from SMT Imagine.
Yep.
So
There's
yeah,
a lot...
I'm glad they're bringing these demons back.
Yeah, it's nice to see them in a new setting, and it's good that they're getting some updated designs or updated sprites.
Now, if we could just get Cthulhu.
Well, with the penis mouth.
You can't really
keep penis mouth.
I don't know, man. They'll probably do it. They probably won't, but we'll see. Now,
I mean, they keep Mar around.
And Ariok was the Devil Survivor.
Ariok and Misha Gucci.
Oh yeah, they bring back Misha Gucci too.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Christian. You were saying something.
Incubus is also around, and he basically has a constant boner.
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, yeah, going back on topic with the new endings. So these new endings are accessed when you complete the Womb of Grief. Alex negotiates with you at the end. She tells you, hey, there's a better solution. Hear me out. And then as soon as you agree with her, she vanishes away because she's from the future.
The future.
And basically she says, hey, my job is done. I'm going to screw off now. Goodbye. And she leaves you with the ring, a memento of her mom, and the last fruit. Demeter, after that, takes that fruit away from you and tells you, hey, thank you for picking up that last fruit. Now go fuck yourself. Essentially, what Demeter was scheming this whole time was that she was working for the three wise men, aka Shekinah. Shekinah is a female version of Yahweh, and yeah, they pretty much have been scheming and orchestrating this whole Schwarzwelt event, and that's pretty much it. The law, there's a lot of law association with this with Shekinah, and Shekinah is more of like I said, female version of Yahweh. So think of Yahweh for a second.
Its design actually reminds me a lot of Ancient of Days from SMT4.
Yeah.
It's like if Ancient of Days and Yahweh had a bastard child.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So after beating Shekinah, you will get the new ending. So for the new neutral ending, how it would play out is it will play out similarly to the neutral ending. So, but instead of going back to Earth with your fellow crewmates, you stay back in the Schwarzwelt with Arthur. So pretty much, your crewmates are sent back to Earth. You stay there, and you spend the time on the moon with the 6 cosmic eggs, blowing up cavities forming of the Schwarzwelt. So there's that. The reason behind it is because Alex tells you at the end that humanity hasn't learned from its mistakes, and that they weren't prepared for the second coming of the Schwarzwelt. The Schwarzwelt then ate up the whole Earth, and pretty much problem wasn't solved, just like every other neutral ending. The problem is only solved temporarily. but you don't know whenever it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. And that's
Yeah, I mean,
essentially what the Schwarzwelt is.
Yeah, this basically confirmed my theories for the neutral ending of the original Strange Journey. I'm like, what's to prevent more Schwarzwelts from happening in the future? But what you do in this new ending, you don't really you don't really stop the Schwarzwelt from happening. What you do is you kind of stay in the Schwarzwelt, and you basically curse yourself so that every time a Schwarzwelt happens, you just keep blowing it up.
Yep.
You're basically the guardian of the Earth.
Yeah.
Oh, we could have a freaking...
You throw away your humanity to save humanity. That is the new neutral ending.
Yeah, in the new neutral ending, like after the credits roll and everything, or maybe it's before, I don't know, but you're sitting on the moon with Arthur, and then a Schwarzwelt appears, and he says, "This is like, I think it's the seventh time the Schwarzwelt has showed up." And he said it's been 150 years since the last one. So, I mean, you pretty much just keep doing this for the rest of eternity.
That's like once every few decades. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right. Now for the new law ending, it's not really similar. It's more of like.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, it's
before we go further. Do you think? Since he's basically the guardian of the Earth, I'd just love to see a freaking Doom guy ultimate boss in SMT5.
That would be pretty awesome.
I wouldn't doubt it. A lot of nods that the extra content is giving us to SMT5 probably would have been some connection, but we don't know for a fact unless we see it. But I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on to the new law ending. The new law ending, and I did this one recently. It's pretty much, like I said, the representative of your the route that you went with is convinced by Alex that there's a better way of creating a better future, in a sense. And she says, "Hey, the song that you sing is not the song that's from you. It's from the gods and the angels and the people who represent the law." And she says that a lot of my innocent friends and family have died because they have committed sins and they paid for their sins with their death. So pretty much it was a whole genocide situation, confirming that law, there is if there is law, then there will be genocides. So pretty much if you don't agree with this, you're dead. So essentially that's what she says, and then she, because woman complex, I don't know, it's really weird how they did this, but because of Alex crying to Zelenin and saying, "Hey, would you want to make a world where women like me are happy?" And then that's where it hit Zelenin hard, where she's like, "Well, yeah, that's the whole reason why I took on this whole angel form, is to really create a world of peace and harmony, but I didn't expect it to be this way." And then the whole Shekinah stuff plays out. Mastema, before approaching Shekinah, says to Zelenin that, "I can't believe I gave you this power and then you use it for your own, and you're not using it for us. You're not singing our song. Like, what about that mixtape? What are we gonna do with that mixtape?" Right?
Basically pulling a Judge Dredd and saying, "God is not the law, I am the law."
Yeah, he's like, "What about our mixtape, the one that you were gonna produce?" It's like, "No, I don't want that mixtape anymore. I want to make my own mixtape. But thank you." And then Massimo's like, "Well, fuck you too, bye." Basically, after that,
proceeds to create a diss track.
Yeah, so basically the diss track was against Shekinah. Shekinah was like, "Yeah, whatever." The battle goes out with Shekinah, and then after that, the whole law ending happens. Everybody's living in peace and harmony. where there will be no wars or no nothing, and stuff.
But
Pillar-
like people are lazy and weak, and like if there's any invasion, they'll fucking get slaughtered.
Yeah, pretty much. That was a repercussion. They wouldn't be prepared if there was another conflict between human beings, or that, yes, essentially something like what you just said. That was a repercussion. Zelnin was still Pillar Zelnin at the end. And yeah, she basically says, I hope I created a good future for that woman. And she was referring to Alex. And now for new Chaos, which I haven't really... I didn't do it yet, but I searched it up before actually doing this podcast, so we'd actually have something to talk about. But new Chaos is really similar to the older one. So essentially, what Alex ends up doing to Jimenez is guilt tripping him. As in, she points out his contradiction about strength being the only rule for chaos, and how the weak should fear the strong, in a sense, right? And
Yeah.
she goes on to say that humans are outmatched by these demons that are running loose. And she goes on to say that in the end, she is the only one who survived, or the only one left in the human race. There's no more humans. All of them are dead. She's the only one left. She says, she tells Jimenez that it's a major problem because of the fact that, well, how like, is this what the future you wanted? That humans should live with the demons, but even then, with your rules, that it is impossible because of the power differences. And then he was thinking for a bit. I was like, oh yeah, but that just proved that humans were a weaker race. And I was like, and then she says, aren't you human too? What happened to and then she was talking about Bugaboo, and how Bugaboo was being attacked by Jack's squad and everything, and how he was suffering, right? And she pretty much guilt tripped him about that and said, hey, we gotta and then he tells the protagonist, you think that I'm doing something wrong, that living with the demons and creating this whole strength ideal is a bad thing. And yeah, so he rethinks. He says, hey, okay, let's go back to Memelef and let's go talk to her. So they go back and talk
Memelef.
so they go back to talk to Memelef, right? And Memelef is like, you have the cosmic eggs, give it to me. And he's like, no, but I want to talk to you about first. What do you have planned for the humans? She says, well, the humans are going to live with the demons, right? And that you're going to have your strength ideology and stuff. But essentially, that is not Memelef's plan per se. It's more of like, she's creating a world for the demons, because she feels that the demons are oppressed, and that, you know,
it's essentially a tap dance.
yeah. So that's what happens, and then he's like, no, I'm not having any of this. Like, humans should be given a possibility. And she says, I can't believe you've turned against me, in a sense, because he suggested that to her, because he's half human too, right? So why have a world without any humans when, you know, he wanted a world with both humans and demons? And she says, oh yeah, who cares about the humans, pretty much. She tells him straight.
She reveals her true motives.
Yeah. Anyways, what happens that the battle initiates with Memelef, so you fight Memelef on the Chaos route, the new Chaos route, and then after that, you take her matter, and because of that, Demeter comes and she tells you, oh, hey, let me have that, like, the whole fruit thing happens again, and You go to Imperial Ascent to fight Shekinah. On your way there, you meet up with Zelnin. So, what had happened before is that with Zelnin, you'd fight her before Memelef. I'm pretty sure. I think you'd fight her before Memelef. You fight her after Memelef, actually, if you go this new route. So you fight Pillar Zelnin because she has sided with Mastema and God. So that's what happens. You beat her, and Jimenez is like, oh wow, I can't believe someone like you has lost sight of who you are, essentially. And he's talking more of like a human in a sense, with a chaotic tone. That's how it was with that battle. And yeah,
I can be you're the angel or you're the devil.
Yeah. So goes to fight Shekinah, whole thing goes down. The new world, so the game over screen happens with the red earth, right? And the ending is like, a new world with power has been created where where demons can go back to doing their godly duties in a sense. They can go back to being who they were in a sense. However, the humans have the option to associate with them if they wanted to. So you still have that whole power form. Like, you still have the whole like ideology of power, except it's more of like whether or not you want to associate.
It's essentially stressing freedom over strength.
Yeah. So, and that's another thing too with this new ending, giving the option to do anything you want, pretty much. That's what Jimenez was getting at the end, and he was saying, "Oh, I hope that woman," or he was referring to Alex. I hope that woman finds freedom in this new world, too. So that's the
and essentially everything is a jungle.
Yeah. So yeah, you have the demons on the outside, humans on the inside. You still have the option to whether associate with them or not. You have the option to use demons as your allies. That's essentially what it was for Jimenez's world. Or new world, basically. So there you go. You have a hint of neutral in each and every single ending. For the most part. These endings...
they're essentially more moderate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. These endings are okay. They're fine. They're good. In my opinion, I really think that a lot of SMT purists won't like it because of the fact that it strays away from its initial ideology, which is the whole point of these new endings, actually. I really think that was the intended purpose, and I think for the most part Alex is a good character. She doesn't get that much development though near to the end. She's more of like a plot device to move the new content.
Yeah, I feel like Alex could have been developed better.
Yep.
Especially since they decided to include the whole thing with like the ring and the thing about her mom.
Yeah. At the end, yeah.
Other than the fact that she's from the future, we don't really know anything about her.
Yeah. Other than, yeah, she's just some random in the future. It's implied
she is Yukiko in Strange Journey.
It's implied that her mother is Louise Fair, I think. That's how you pronounce her name. I don't know. But basically...
Oh, no, wait.
Lucifer, the female Lucifer, is her mom.
Wait. If Lucifer is her mom, and if she's Yukiko, does that confirm Fiddler's theory that Teddy is Lucifer?
Can you stop? Can we not mention Persona 4? There you go. So Any last words for the new ending? What do you guys think? Is it good? Is it bad? Do you think new fans will enjoy it? Because I think new fans will enjoy it. I really think old fans will enjoy it too if they're really, really optimistic. But if you're like a hard ass on ideologies, then the content is not for you.
I mean,
Well, I mean, the original endings are still in there.
I
You
mean,
just
like,
don't get the extra gameplay out of them. But yeah, go ahead.
it's like, it's essentially, I think that, like, okay, so whenever, like, SMT1 came out for the Super Famicom back in the 90s, like, you know, it was, like, it was new for the time. It was innovative. Like, you know, it was actually, like, questioning your morals and stuff for the time. At least this is the 90s we're talking about. But like over time, you know, like the internet has seen edgier things than SMT, and I feel like SMT does really need to grow and change with the times to like kind of stay relevant. Like you know, like I get that the purposes for the law chaos neutral thing is that they're supposed to be extremes, but like that's not really how real life works, and you know, like I feel like there should be like some sort of tweaking to the alignment system, kind of like how Nocturne did it. Nocturne did a good job with not like reusing the law and chaos formula.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's kind of similar this time around as well with Alex being Dante and just chasing after you. So that's another thing in the Womb of Grief being the Labyrinth of Amala. So you can see the similarities there. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, go ahead.
I did have a prediction whenever this game was first announced that maybe like there was going to be like a true demon equivalent to the law ending because of Shekna and like freaking Alex showing up and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because like this is essentially a Maniacs with an extra dungeon.
Yep.
Yeah, the Womb of Grief is basically the Kalpas from Nocturne.
Yeah.
But anyways,
But hey, I guess we got more moderate endings, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely recommend that new fans to SMT, like whether or not they've played Persona, or even if this is going to be their first SMT game, I recommend they start with it.
I feel like this is also like a really good bridge between like along with Soul Hackers. Like if you want to get into the like the older SMT games, like these are like good bridgeways to kind of ease you into that old school bullshit dungeon crawlers. Like both Soul Hackers and Strange Journey Redux are really good entries.
Yeah,
and that
I mean, you're a fan of old school, like, you know, old school first person dungeon crawling Western RPGs. You'll definitely feel right at home with this game.
If you like entry on LC, you'll be good with this game.
It's really odd to see. I see it more with the newer generation that more fans actually enjoy Strange Journey Redux a lot because of the new endings. That's a good thing because Atlus is reaching their target audience for this game.
Edgy teenagers like me.
Yeah, for old fans on the other hand, so like maybe you're in your 30s, maybe you're in your 20s, like me.
Rosin.
Or whatever.
Well, I don't know how we don't know how old Rosin is.
You're gonna think that this is really contradictory. It's really bad. It's like the content's bad for an SMT game, and it kind of destroys the writing of Strange Journey. And while you're somewhat right, you're kind of wrong in a sense, because same writer, by the way, same person who did the initial story. I feel like the new content meshes really well. The only problem is with Alex's development and some other cases where there's some inconsistencies. But other than that, I feel like it meshes well with the existing plot. And I feel like this was intended for the newcomers. And this game may not be for you. Like, if you really, really want classic SMT, you're not going to get it anymore. This is the future. We're living in 2018, 2018. Fuck. I don't know what I'm going with it.
This game came out in 2017 in Japan.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is,
things have to grow and change to stay relevant.
And in order for SMT to continue and being a long time running series till this day, somehow hopefully reaching some form of relevance over Persona, then it's got to change. And it's got to change for the better. It's got to change with the times and the generations and the type of people, right? You cannot be a fossil anymore. Like, for me personally, like, I say that I'm a fossil because I enjoy a lot of the older games for its themes and stuff. And while SMT hasn't really changed too much to the point where it's still SMT, but there's the new content is optional for the most part. Like, I didn't enjoy Apocalypse, but I still enjoyed the concepts and the stuff that it brought. Same thing with Strange Journey. Some of it I didn't like, but I really enjoyed the game for the most part, and it's still an SMT game. It still has its values and its stuff attached to it. It still has Kaneko with the demons, so I mean,
Mario didn't keep up his sales by sticking with 2D.
No, of course not. So there's reasons why it has to change, and you have to acknowledge them, because otherwise, how is SMT, how is Atlus going to be successful in the near future? Anyways, that's it for me. But yeah,
we're woke as fuck now.
All right, you guys ever have anything to say after this? Good? No?
Nope.
All right.
Well, there are a few more things I'd like to say about the future and what me going into the army is going to mean for the podcast. It's like, I mean, like I said earlier, I won't be able to do the podcast when I'm in basic training because there you don't really get access to.
You're cut off.
Yeah, well, you're not completely cut off. Like, I've heard that it depends on the drill sergeant. Like, usually they'll let you use your phone before lights out, but I mean, I won't be able to podcast. Now, once basic training is over, which is going to be about 2 months, that's when I go to advanced individual training, or AIT, and that's actually more laid back. That's when it's more like a job. So hopefully I'll be able to start making content at that point. I'm not 100% sure, but once I'm done with all my training, I'll have a ton of free time, and I'll definitely be able to do not only podcasts, but just make more content in general. Which, I mean, that's kind of the thing I wanted to do when I started this channel, when I started this podcast. But I mean, like I said, life gets in the way, and I didn't really have much time for that.
All right. Well, I guess
nice
I
meme.
think that's everything. I mean, I personally have nothing to say. But yeah, I guess we can call it night now. All right.
All right. Thank you guys for listening.
Good night.
Thank you. See ya.
Yeah.